Welcome to DevLog episode 4, the series where I'm building my very own SaaS platform from scratch. My goal for the week was actually to only take the wireframes that I showed the last time and turn them into an HTML page, but actually I've managed to get a lot of progress done. I've built a server, I've built the graphs, and I've actually built the entire pages. So let me show you what I've got. I ended the last episode by showing the wireframes I created for the page layout and navigation. I found that this kind of design really does not require any kind of special tool. I always use PowerPoint or Google Slides. I then take those wireframes and turn them basically into HTML wireframes. In the past, I would have probably spent a lot more time working on the UI, but now after years in product, I realized that this has a very low impact on success for an MVP. At this point, I wanted to get some data into the UI, so I created a graph for the Tesla company as a huge JSON file and tested it out. I chose to use GraphQL for the API type, and there is a great library called HotChocolate for .NET for the server and StrawberryShake for the client. It allows me to continue developing very quickly because I only have to use C# objects, and it takes care of creating the schema and the client and everything else. At this point, I verified that even with data, the user experience, the navigation, and the page layouts work out fine. I just started coding and coding and coding. My goal was to create a Midjourney hub that people can actually use and to use that in order to get feedback for the next iteration. It never feels enough, but let me show you what I got so far. Users who now visit the homepage are presented with 2 new available graphs, one for Tesla and one for Midjourney. Clicking on it brings you to a concept page, in this case for Tesla, and I've also added some markdown section where there is a detailed description of the hub and also a breakdown of the taxonomy of the hub. I can see this concept is associated with 2 lists, Tesla vehicles and Tesla technologies. Once I click on Tesla vehicles, I go to a list page, and now I can see which items are included in that list. Now when I click on Model S, it takes me to a concept page for that. I can see that the Model S is associated with another list called Model S Features, which has 6 concepts in it. I can click on it to go to the list, and here I can see that some of the Model S features are actually brought from another list called Common Car Features, and some are direct members of that list. I can go back up and see how that works. This list extends one list called Common Car Features that brings in 3 concepts. And it's also a part of the all car concepts list, so it pushes all its concepts over there. I can now go to that common car features list and look what it's a part of, and here it's clear that it's pushing these common car features to all lists of features of all cars that Tesla has. Let's go back and look at the all car features list. This list actually extends all the car feature lists. It includes all features from all cars, but interestingly, it also includes the common car features because those lists are extending that list. I'm really happy with the result because it actually shows quite complex relationships and still manages to do it using only concepts and lists, which was the original goal of the hub. Now let me show you the Midjourney hub, which is much bigger and is actually meant to be the first hub I put out to get feedback from the Midjourney community. It has a pretty big taxonomy and ontology. It starts out on 2 lists, one for styles and one for entities. Each have about 2,000 concepts in them. Let's check out the styles list. You can see it has 2,000 concepts. They come from 9 different lists. These lists are major categories like architecture, photography, fashion, and so on. Let's say I want to make a photography prompt, so I can open it up and see that the photography concepts are also divided into 2 different categories, one for photography styles and one for photographers. For those who know Midjourney, you can use a photography style to describe how you want the image to come out, or alternatively, you can describe a specific photographer and then the image will come out in the style of that photographer. Now I can pick a photographer like Liam Wong, and once I click on it, although I don't have a description, I can see that he belongs in the landscape painters, and photographers list. So it actually tells me a lot about this concept even without having to write actual text. At the bottom of each page, I also created a useful related concepts map so that you can navigate right back to the main concept. My next immediate goal is to add as much content as I can to the Midjourney hub and release it to start getting feedback. I will then move away from using JSON files to putting all the data in a database. I then need to create a user management system and allow users to start to add or remove, edit, and delete concepts and lists.